So, hey guys, Chauzu here. So we just got the download on Global for the Pirate Rumble Sugofest. And we're getting a new legend. And it's going to be a first generation member. The only one who hasn't got a legend yet, which is Scratchman Apoo. And yeah, let's just jump right into it. We have quite a bit to talk about this unit. I think he's very interesting. As you see, he's an int shooter driven, and as is tradition, he's a Pirate Rumble legend after all, so he doesn't have a super type or super class. I don't know why they continue with that, but even despite that, he might be worth running as captain sometimes. But yeah, potential abilities, nothing special, bad crit, so basically useless. Normal side damage reduction, also a bit whatever. Barrier pen, obviously good. Not sure why they put side damage reduction on a class captain, because as you see, Apoo actually only boosts shooter and driven 5 times attack. And you can go up to 5.5 times attack if you keep killing enemies for 5 turns. He also makes int, bomb and super bomb slots have matching slot effects. And this kind of foreshadows that his special will have with bomb slots to do. He also makes crew immune to limit number of taps and remove SFX status for 10 turns after start of quest. This basically means the effect when remove SFX is blindness, obviously, when you can't see when you tap. While limit number of taps is what we call in the community as tap limit. Basically, you get the debuff icon that says that this turn you can tap with 4 units, and so you can tap with all 6, for example. And that's the biggest deal here, I think, because this is the first unit we have that just lets you resist tap limit, which is obviously really good. That's not it's not the most common debuff, but it's not uncommon either. And your only options were basically to play around it, just do enough damage anyway. It was to use Sugar, who ignores it, or use a unit like Shirahoshi Manchury or the V1 Straw Pirates that can just remove it entirely if it's not that many turns. But now we got another option, which is just run Apoo, and he will let you resist it. But remember, this is not like he resists in the cap when the quest starts. He adds a immunity buff to your crew that lets you not be affected by it for 10 turns. So it is prone to be removed by enemies, or if you stall long enough it will disappear, stuff like that. But still, like, we don't expect anything from Pirate Rumble Legend in terms of captain abilities, so getting something unique at all, very cool. As for the special, he is a bit like Kid Luffy, but he has some orb manip, and instead of a 5-turn orb boost, he has 5 turns easier perfects, which is a shame, I'd say. Imagine if those 5 turns easier perfects were like color affinity, orb boost, attack boost, something legit useful. Maybe another shame buff, something like that would have been a lot better, but what can we do? One thing I want to know with this Apoo is that he has 10 CD, and I say that 10 CD for what he does is actually insane. So that's really good. So 5 turns easy perfects. He changes top row, bottom row slots to super bomb. And he also locks slots for 1 turn. This is really cool. Like, imagine in arena stage 3, you use Apoo, you get super bomb top and bottom. They are locked. You move on to the next stage. Like, even if enemy changes to block orbs or whatever, you keep those super bomb. They can't be changed. Then you can use another special there that locks the orbs again. Lots of options to lock the orbs, and then you move to final stage and you will still have those super bomb slots that can't be changed. So that's a nice potential orb manip for sure. Not only that, he also gives a shame boost plus 1.4 for 1 turn. That's already pretty high, but it goes higher. So if you hit 2 perfects the next turn, let's take the arena situation, we're on stage 3, hit 2 perfects stage 4, we will get that plus 1.6 shame boost. Then on stage 4, if we hit 3 perfects for final stage, we will get a plus 2.0 chain boost. And this is basically the highest we have, except for Super Tandem Nami, the Super Scorefest Nami. But yet plus 2.0 is really good, and obviously he's not the same classes as Nami. So he could see some potential use just for that very high chain. The problem is more like that's all he does, which might not be worth in, say, Super Boss, for example. But even considering the potential of using a Kisuna unit for Super Boss is pretty wild, I'd say, or a PvP legend, I should say. But I'd say his main use is just to have a very low CD special that does a lot of good stuff. Like you add a lot of extra damage, you can ignore orb manip, stuff like that. 10 CD, he's also driven, so you can put Mr. 3 on this, make it 8 CD. He makes bomb, super bomb matching with his Sailor, and this also makes you immune to remove SFX, which is a great combo with making perfects easier. So I think he will let it be fun to use, and we'll see occasional use in pretty much whatever content. So I think that's very dope, personally. Would have been cool if he maybe did some damage as well to use in treasure map or such to get some super bomb orbs, but it is what it is. With that said, we can look at the support too. He supports some of the version generation and Kaido, but I think it's weird. Like, I can understand that Luffy, Zoro, Kid, Law Killer has enough support, maybe not Killer, but okay, we can live with that. But I have no idea why Bonnie isn't here. But we do have Hawkins, Rogue, Beige, Teach, and Kaido. So at least it's some units who don't have that many supports. Ironically, I think both Teach, Hawkins, and Kaido have support for decreased chain. So basically just Rogue and Beige for that, but still pretty dope. And it's still not just that, it's like if you get either decreased chain or remove SFX, you remove either by 3. So that's still a really good support. Just wish it was on Bonnie as well. And remember, this is not all chain debuffs, it's just the decreased chain. If you get a bad chain lock applied, this won't remove that. As for PvP, we have some disagreements about how good Apoo is. Obviously doesn't have a GP stat, because why would PvP legends have GP stats? Being very ironic there, of course, I don't know why they do that. But anyway, what makes us disagree a lot on Apoo is because his rumble ability is not the best. Speed up level 6 to Int, which in fairness is something that Int needs. But you also have special city speed level up 3. And side types have def down level 6. So the problem here is that he helps nothing with defense for until there's no HP. Doesn't even give attack boost or HP or anything. So he helps a lot with dealing damage and making the team a bit faster, but Int relies a lot on the defense. So I don't know if you can fit Apoo good in a normal Int team as we build them now. But there might be options like we can discuss in a bit. The special is very good though. 29 CT. Targets enemies within large range for 2.7 times damage. That's a solid number and a large range as well. In types teammates get attack up level 7, speed up level 7. So sadly that's applied after you do the first damage, which is pretty dumb, but it is what it is. But then the big thing that have people very hyped is that he targets side type enemies, ignoring death for 1.2 times attack damage. And that's really good. It's not as good as, say, We2 Kid. Yes, We2 Kid. That does 1.5 times damage ignoring defense. But the great thing with Apoo is that he can't miss. He hits every single side unit for this damage. And that's really good. So one potential use might be to combine Apoo with Konis and Wichi Karakuri, since this will heavily debuff side teams. And Apoo will also help with making Int faster. So you can put Apoo with Konis, with Wichi Karakuri, with Moria and Uta. And you will probably go for before all the Sai units. and you just have to pray that Apoo and the rest of the gang get some very good kills. Like, I imagine that Moria, if it debuffs something and then Apoo hits it, it will probably go down. It might depend on how well invested Apoo is. Obviously, a weakness of the Apoo is that he will be hard to get to level 150. Like, sure, you can feed int wanted posters, but we've had 3 hard int Grand Voyages in a short time frame. So I'm sure most people are low on that, but it's something to consider. So we'll see what people come up with. So I don't think he works well in the normal in team with like Broggy and Moria and Uta and Blackbeard, stuff like that, because that team is already all about surviving and then killing, and Apoo doesn't really help with the survival part. But yeah, I'm pretty excited by Apoo. I think they did a very good job with his design. Let me know if you agree or disagree. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys. See you next time.